getting the data here and following that. One second. Okay, so we are in one method we are initializing, in another method we are calling it. That's it, nothing much more we are doing here. Okay, so here we are setting the name and setting the marks, and we are calling the name and calling the marks. I already told you, right? So if you want to, if it is a constructors, you don't have to actually call it, it will automatically, when you are calling your class, it will automatically executes. Whereas if it is your method, you have to create an object, and according to that object you can create the object, and based on that object you can call your method. So that's what we are doing here, nothing bit much easy. So I have declared a class called student, and it is holding 4 methods: set name, get name, set marks, get marks, like that. Okay, so now set name has, anyway, we all know every instance method we need to call that with self, because instance method always comes up with self keyword. That already we know that, right? Yeah, sure. I think you guys know that. Fine. um, so here all of them is instance methods only. So self I'm calling, it will pass whatever, when once you initialize some data you can pass it wherever you want. That's what we have seen in the instance method. So I'm passing self, and I'm passing another one parameter. So I'm initializing the parameter as a self.name, and I have declared another one method. Can someone? Okay, yeah, thanks for that, Sarita. So get name, so it is holding only self, so I'm calling the self name here. Okay, again I've declared, of course you can, in a single method you can declare a variable, there only you can call it, so that also fine, it will work. So that not what I'm meant to say here. It's setter in the sense you can initialize the data, getter in the sense you can retrieve the data. That's it. That's what happening here. So that's what people usually used to do, say getter setter. So this is nothing bit much. This is how it works. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, sure. Um, here, getting the name, setting the name. So on in previous class only we have seen, so initializing the data using the initializer, or else you can just whatever you want, you can automatically, you can initialize using the self keyword wherever you want. So I'm just initializing the data here in the set method, and I'm calling that data using the get method. Same goes for set marks and get marks. Okay, and for I in range, which means it will loop 2 times automatically. So that's what I've set it. You can set whatever you want, so that's totally up to you, right? So here we have already the class student, and I'm creating a object for the student. Okay, and I'm asking the user to insert the name. I'm storing that into a variable, and I'm passing that variable inside of my set name method. This is object of the class. So object, from that I'm calling the method, I'm passing the data inside of it. So it will go and initialize the data here. Whereas I'm asking the marks as well, I'm storing it into the marks variable, and I'm passing that inside of the set marks variable, and I'm initializing. And finally I'm calling the get methods. So it will return the self name with the string, marks with the string. And if I run this, See, it is asking student name. If I put Robert like that, and 7,700 or whatever I put, so it is giving the entered name is Robert and the earned marks is 700, and it is asking another one. So Steve, or else I will give Chris, and Mark, if I give 8,800 or whatever. See, so this is how get us setup. Nothing but if you have clearly understood the initialize instance method, that's all it is, what it will do. Okay, and following that we have inner class, and we have seen the functions also, inner function, right? So the same concept here also. As I was saying, function is the basic step of a class. So if you know very well function, most of 70% you can understand the class. So that is same things will be there, one to one another. Okay, so here I am declaring a class called outer, and it is holding initializer constructors, and we all know whenever we are calling the class, this constructor automatically will execute. You don't have to separately call it. Whereas dummy, it is a method, instance method. If you want to see this result, you need to call it. Of course, we know that. And inside of the class, we have another one class, and it is also holding another one constructor, and it is holding some messages. Then it also holding some instance method. You can ask me why you are always declaring instance method. Why don't we go with the static method or any other method? Obviously, you can do that. Okay, so just I'm giving like that. You can try with different methods. Okay, so after that I'm creating object. So if I created the object, I can call this dummy, and this initializer automatically will work. Then how I can create an object for this inner class? In the sense, after you have created an object, you can call the object with inner, and use that you can create that object. Then you can call the method. Okay, sure, I will run it. So you can see, whenever, as I was saying, initializer automatically will return its message. So that is the reason automatically whenever even we are creating the object, it is creating the outer class and the inner class, both automatically is returning. And particularly specifically we are calling hello from the B, it is returning hello world, this message, and dummy, it is automatically returning the result. So this is how inner class works. Okay, so you guys have anywhere any doubts, just feel free to stop me and ask me whatever the doubts you have. Okay, so passing to the next thing, inheritance, one of the most important concept whenever you get into the actual job, so that you should know. Okay, as I was saying, whenever you get into the actual web development field or any other field, even for the data science field also, most of the time you will face inheritance only. Okay, so I can show you some of the, anyway I'll try to show something of the web development field works in the sense. So inheritance is one of the most important thing. If you, so here I have hundreds of applications. Each and every applications have models, and each models classes inheriting with some color. Not only models, even if you take the serializers also, inheritance will come. Even if you take a views also, it will come up with inheritance only. So here also you can see that. So it is important. So that's all I can say. I can't say this much importance it has. You cannot scale it this much importance. Everything that is a starting point whenever you get into the development. Inheritance is the major point. Okay, so try to understand what I'm trying to say here. What exactly inheritance means in the sense, if you already declared some class, okay, from that class if you need to extract some data, you can do that. So that process we used to call them as inheritance. Guys, am I audible? Did I? Okay. Sure. Okay. So as you can see, like if you are inheriting one class to another class, the class which you are inheriting, that we reference as a parent. Which one class you are getting all the data, which one class actually taking the data from the parent, that is we used to call them as a child class. Okay, so here I have a parent class called employee, and it has some data, some constructors, some methods, and I have another one child class which is person, and I'm calling, which is, this is what inheritance, and it is a one-to-one relationship inheritance, which means one parent, one child. That's it. There is nothing more than that. Okay. So as you can clearly see in this class, I have given the name employee and it has a constructor initializer. In there I'm initializing first name, last name, and I've declared another one instance method, and there I'm returning the first name and last name together, the name of the employee, something like that. Then I've created another one class called person, and it is inheriting with employee. Okay, so whenever you want to inherit a constructor from the parent class, you can do this in this way, like you can declare another one constructors, so that you can pass cell like basically like this only. But whenever in the content, if you are inheriting a class, you can put the class name, and again you can call the constructor, and you can pass the whatever the parameters it has, and it will bring the data initialize here. So you don't have to initialize it one more time. Okay, it will automatically do initialization. But whereas if it is a methods, you don't have to do nothing, it will automatically will come. So that I will show you. So parent class also have one instance method, and child class also have one instance method. Okay, sure. Now I'm creating a object for child class, and we know person is the child class. We are creating an object X for the child class with the data. And if I call full name, obviously you cannot find any full name instance method in this child class, but still it will work, because this child class will go and get this data, I mean the method. So that is what app inheritance. So whatever the options that parent class has, even the variable or the method, anything, you can call it with your child class which is inherited. And here you can see not only even the constructors, once you call the super or else a parent class constructors, you can declare one, you can initialize with any more data also you can initialize. That's also not problem. And welcome, it is available in the child class, that is also I'm calling. So only one object we can call two classes, methods and constructors. Okay, so this is single inheritance or else one-to-one inheritance we used to call. Let's see. Let's see what have I done? One second. I think I didn't come to it very well. So let me rerun one more time. So here you can see person Robert Pattinson I've passed and I'm calling the full name. So it is taking this method because initializer also here it is working. So we are calling that initializer. So it will initialize with the first name and last name and it will bring them together. Whenever I call that particular method, it will automatically returning like this. Okay. So, and after that I've declared a variable called experience instance. Okay, so I've declared that one and I'm calling that as a x dot experience. X is the object, right? X dot experience I'm calling, and obviously it is returning 5. Why it is returning 5 in the sense? Because I've declared 5. So instead of that, if you want to pass some extra data and initialize that, obviously you can do that, but careful with that because parent constructors have only 2 parameters. If you pass 3 parameters here, maybe it will throw you error. So careful with that whenever you are dealing with the constructors. Okay, and welcome, it is available in the parent child class only. Obviously it will return the result. Okay, usually. So this is what one-to-one, or else should I say single inheritance. Okay, so now, well, I hope you guys understood what is single inheritance. So next what we are going to see, it is a multiple inheritance. Means there will be only one child class, but it can inherit with multiple parent class. That thing we used to call it as a multiple inheritance. So here I have class first, it has a instance method. I have class second, it also have an instance method. And what I'm doing, I'm creating another one class third. I'm inheriting first and second together. And I've declared another one instance method and it has a parameter called self. And I'm printing something for this method and first dot method name I'm calling. You can clearly see that. And second dot again the method name I'm calling. Obviously you can declare different names of method, but your convenience, or else should I say my convenience, I've declared like that. And it is inherited, you can directly call them. So I'm creating an object, and if I call just simply no, how can I say, I just called it only one time, but we will get 3 results. Why? In the sense, inside of this method I call these 2 methods as well. So that is the reason it will give you the result. So or else you can directly put t dot no, or else if you have different name, for example first you are given yes or any name, and you can directly call with that object, that time also it will work. So if I run this, so you can see this is the third class it is returning, this is the first class it is returning from the first class method, and second class method also.
Can you
Wait,
show at a time that that 3 methods?
sorry,
That 3 methods, whole program, can you show at a time?
here one
Yes.
method, two method, three method.
Yeah.
Exactly, I didn't understand what you are asking me.
That whole program I have to see at a time.
Oh, whole program in the sense like this. No, how am I supposed to show you that? Like, even if I drag, it is not covering, right? I think this is visible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Little.
So, hey, sorry.
Yeah. Little scroller. Yeah. First. Okay. Yes, okay.
Right?
Means we are
So
calling a method also in the means child class. We can call method.
yeah, of course you can directly use the t.no also, or else you can directly call these methods with another your child class method. This
Okay.
it will work, right? Anyway, calling is calling, right? Wherever you are calling, yeah, isn't it? So which one way you want to call, you can call, it will do the job. So here, instead of calling them 3 times and they have same name, so why do we want to do that? Like, that is the reason I've mentioned. So instead of that, if you have different names, you can put the t dot that names. For example, if I change it, it will throw error. Okay, let me try that. Maybe now something like this. And if I put t dot noise, sorry, I think it's running a little bit late. And if I run that, yeah, it is showing the result, but we are not able to see that. See, just which one way you want to use, you can use it. Not at all problem. Okay, understood? Or still any doubts you have?
Understood.
Yeah, fine. So next we have multi-level inheritance, which is nothing bit much complicated. So far, one parent, one child, and one child, multiple parent, and next step, multiple parent, multiple child. That's it. Nothing bit much more complicated. So far we have seen one to one and one to many, and here we are going to see many to many. And the terms whatever I used here, that you will see whenever you get into the Django relationship. For example, or should I say, what are all the Django relationships like that. Um, see, you can see one-to-one relationship. It is mentioning many-to-many relationship. Another one relationship we used to call them as a foreign key relationships. Here you can see that is also they are mentioning. So we have seen one-to-one relationship. Foreign key, what is foreign key in the sense that is what just now we have seen. Like this one key representing the connecting with another methods, so entire data, that's what foreign key. And finally we are seeing the many to many relationship. So what I'm trying to make a point here. So this is in here we used to call it as a one to one, or as a single inheritance, multiple inheritance, and multi-level inheritance. But whenever you get into the field of web development, there they use different names. And I think everybody knows Django is completely made of, it is a Python framework, right? So everything whatever you are seeing in Django, completely 100% made it by Python only. So yeah, that's what the point I'm trying to make here. So here also again the same concept, one parent, two parent, one child, two child, right? So if you take according to the fourth class, the fourth class having three parent classes, first, second, third, all of them is the parent class to the fourth class. And if you take third class, first and second is the parent class, means there are two child class, two parent class, many to many relationship. This is how it is works. And if I call first, second, third method names, and I'm displaying the its fourth class one terms, right? So it will do the work. And if you run this, so you can see display all the values from the multi-level inheritance classes. First class method, second class method, third class method, and this class one term, right? This is just a very basic example of inheritance. Okay, and after this we have I think what is that, polymorphism, or let me check. Yeah, polymorphism. Yeah, this is direct reference of inheritance, guys. Like here we have each classes with the same name. So polymorphism is nothing but like one operation can be performed in multiple ways. That is what we used to call them as a um, polymorphism. Will allow to define the methods with the same name for both classes, which means like what they are trying to say, if different classes have the same name, you don't have to call them each and every single time. You can see here what we have done. Each classes have same method name, so what we are doing, all of them we are calling through only one method and we are printing it at a single shot. So that's what simply polymorphism meant to be. Anyway, I will show you one more example. So that accordingly we used to call them as a duck typing also, like it's a short way to print something. So in our case we have two classes, one is England, another one is America. Okay, what happened here? It is throwing error. Okay, let me comment this and go to the top. Yeah, so one is England, another one is America. So what I'm doing here each classes have same methods, capital language type in England, whereas capital language type in America as well. So both of them having same methods, why we need to call them two times? We can call them only one time, right? So that's what we are going to do here. So I'm just to go ahead and create two objects for two classes, and I'm putting all of them, all those two class objects into a tuple. Okay, so what it will do, it will go and first take the England object, and it will, we are calling capital language type, then it will go and take next America and it will return the capital language type. That's what duck typing simply we used to call it as. If I run this, so you can see London, British English, and developing country, like that England results coming, and whereas it comes to the America, New York, American English, developed country, like that it's written. So basically, so if you, what exactly it means, if you have two different classes with the same names of methods, okay, so that time you don't have to call them into multiple times, it will automatically, you can do that in a short way. So that's what duck typing meant to be. Having any doubts, anybody? No.
Could you repeat once?
So what I meant to say, you have two classes, there is no relationship with these two classes, but still if they have same method names, in the sense you can make a short way to call them. So making it as a short way to call them, we used to call that as a duck typing. So we are creating two objects of about the two different classes, and we are putting them into tuple, and we are calling them one by one, and it will return all the results. Understood now?
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, like to get more in-depth understanding, we will see one more example as well. So here name only I have given as a duck, and lion, cat, hyenas, like that, and instead of directly putting all them into the for loop, I'm going to approach it in a different way. So duck, lion, cat, hyenas, every four of them having only one method called sound. The method name remains same. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, to make short calling, I'm going to declare a function. Because why I'm calling this as a function, this is not available inside of any other classes. So if it is outside, it is standing in the margin, so that is the reason I'm calling it as a function. But this one I cannot call it as a function, and the reason you guys already know, any method which is comes under the class, we used to call them as a methods. Okay, anyway, so what this function is doing, it is taking a parameter. From that parameter it will call sound method. That's it. So now what I will do, I am creating a list of all the classes. So I'm creating duck, lion, cat, all the class names, and put it as I stored it into the lists. Now what I will do, I am going to loop this list. So taking one by one class. So first time it will take the class as x, then we are calling the function call. So call of duck, in the sense duck dot sound, it will return this. Then it will go and take the lion, and it will approach here as a lion, and it will call the sound. And if I run this, see, now it's clear. I think, I
Yes.
hope it's clear to everybody. Okay, so after this polymorphism, what do we have? What is the program number 27, right? Okay, so 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. Where is that 28? I think I missed that one. Okay, once again. What is the program number 28? 29 is the generators and retrievers. Where is the 28?
Hello. Hello.
So,
हॅलो. मी
yes.
तुला 10 मिनिटात करते म्हणलं.
Sorry?
नाही नाही, घरीच आहे. 10 मिनिटात करते.
9 description? Ah, sorry. It was the right next to that only. I'm searching all over the place. Okay, fine. Okay. So here we have seen polymorphism. So polymorphism with inheritance, that's what we are going to see over here. Okay. So here we have a parent class called bird. Okay. Not recording. Sure. Okay. So here we have a parent class called bird. So that bird holding two methods. One is species, another one is flight. So again, eagle, it has only one method called flight. Another one is ostrich, that also holding another one method. Okay, so but this methods has same name, flight, flight. But except bird, this extra, which means not extra, the another inheriting two child class don't have anything called species. And we know, okay, so this is overriding. Overriding, I think you people may know that about something. Overriding in the sense, if already some data is there, it will override, else it will leave it as it is. So that's what overriding. So here what we are going to do, using the polymorphism, we are going to override the flight method. That's what we are going to do over here. Okay, so here we have three class, and I'm creating three objects, B, E, O, like that, and I'm calling B dot species, B dot flight, e dot species, e dot flight, o dot species, o dot flight. If I do this, you can clearly see it will override them. Okay, so each time if I call species, it will return this data only. But each time if I call flight, it will return different result. That's what overriding. So you can clearly see this first statement remaining same for each 3 times. But whereas this messages keep getting changes for each object, which means each and every objects don't have something called species. Only parent class have the species, but they are inherited. Whenever you are calling the species, it will go and fetch the parent class data. But whenever you call the flight, this child class also having something called flight, so this data will be overridden by this. Okay, or else I can say, if you're calling a method, if it is not exists in that particular class, it will go and check to the inherited parent class. If the parent class do have the method name, it will return the data. But whereas if you're calling a method, that method even existing in the parent class as well, and even it is existing in the child class as well, in the sense you will always you will get the child class result only. So parent class result will get overridden. That's what I meant to say. So this is what a polymorphism with inheritance. I will comment this. And next, what do we have? Operator overloading. No, method overloading. I hope. No, operator overloading. Yeah, exactly what is happening here. And we know, everybody know what is operator, right? So like arithmetic operator, comparison operator, conditional state, what is that, logical operator, different operators are already predefined. And if you want to overload those operators, so here I've declared a book. So one is initializer, it is holding pages count. So if I pass 500, it will initialize here. And again I've declared another one constructor, so that is holding other. Okay, so if I pass 500, it will get initialized here. If I pass 300, it will go and get initialized here. And if I put b1 plus b2, it will get added. Formally, you are not able to add two objects, but using the operator overloading method, you can do that. That's what it is happening here. So I've created two objects and I'm trying to add them, and I will possibly get the answer as 800. And you can clearly see that. Where did this message is coming from? My bad. I didn't comment it on. Okay, sure. Now I think it will work. So, so this is what operator overloading. So using the operator overloading, we are overloading the plus operation by using the addition construction. So it will take two of the objects and it will give you the result, and it's already given the object result, right? So this is what operator overloading. So same way you can use method overloading also. So next what we are going to see, method overloading only. And we have seen method overloading, right, in the first place only. So this is also a method and this is also a method, and it is overloading the parent class method. So that's, I think they are trying to explain it one more time, I hope. See, okay, call. This is something different. Sorry, that's my bad. So method overloading. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. I will explain what exactly going on here. If you have in a single class, if you have multiple methods, but each method have similar name, which means exactly same name in the sense, it will overload. Or else if you ask me what is overloading in the sense, one method will stop another method from execution. Like that I can say that's what overloading. So here I have call, but first method having one parameter, second method having two parameter, and third parameter, no, it is holding only self, right? But if I am creating an object for this class, and if I pass two datas, it will throw error. And even if I pass one data, again it will throw error. You want to see? I will show you that. See, it is giving error, right? So it takes only one positional argument, but you have given three. Why you are giving three? Like that it is asking. Because this method and this method, both of them has been overridden by this method. Which means whenever you are calling this particular name, these methods will not execute. This method only will execute. Or else you can simply say, if you have multiple methods inside of a class with the same name, always the last method only will execute. Okay, last method only will active. So according to the last method only, you need to pass the data. So that's what it is means. But so you want to see test it. So I will comment this last method. And if I run this, see, now it is working. Because I'm passing two parameters, it is setting perfectly. So this is what method overloading. Okay. So what next we have method overriding, that already we have seen. This is constructors overloading, guys. Okay, so method overriding, which is nothing but this is what method overriding. In the first place only we have seen really a bird and eagle, right? So this flight method has been overridden by this flight method. So this is we used to call it as a overriding. Method overriding we have seen, the operator overloading we have seen, method overloading also we have seen, and test. Okay, so here what we are doing, okay, I think I just forgot to put the command constructor overloading. So that's what it is means, that's what even means. So the same concept here also. So how the methods overloading itself are based on the last method, same way this constructors also will overload based on the last methods. Okay, so for example here if I put three variable a, one second, a b c, like that, these two methods will not execute. Sorry, I meant to say two constructors will not execute. This last constructor only will execute. So here I'm calling the class, but I didn't pass anything. So probably this should execute if it is there is no overloading in the sense, but there is an overloading is there. So if I call, obviously it will ask me to pass two parameters. If you want to see, it is asking two parameters to me. But if I comment this, and I'll try to run this. So you can see now it is working. So how the method has been overloaded, same way constructors also you can do overload. And what next we do here? Method overloading. Yeah, this now only we have seen, right? Why they are mentioned one more time? With two classes. This is also we have seen, right? This is actually overriding kind of things. Like if you are inheriting with the parent class and child class, both of them having the same name. Whenever I'm calling the name, the child class data only will execute. That's what will happen. I think we have seen this two times. Anyway, not a problem. So here you can see this is parent class constructor, so it is written in the result. That doesn't matter, that's none of our concern. But course, so parent class have JavaScript and child class have Python. But if I call course, it is written in Python only because this has been overridden by this. That's what they are trying to make a point here. That we have seen in the first example only, right? And next, overriding. This will be quite a little bit interesting only. So previously, what we have seen, there will be multiple methods, and which one last method having the proper whatever the according to the last method or constructor, based on that only you should pass your data, then only you will get the proper result. But whereas overriding in the sense only one method will act in multiple way. So that is what method overriding. So here you can see, here I think you guys already worked out with the functions. There we have seen something called something default parameter function, right? So the default parameter function, what it will do, it will automatically, it will as basically it will hold some data. So if you pass some data, it will override the existing data and it will take it as a new data. If you didn't pass any data, it will take the default data. So that is the same concept here. I'm declaring a method, instance method, and I'm passing three parameters. All of them I'm declaring default as none. If you pass the data, it will take them as a data, else it will be as none. So now I'm putting condition if a does not equal to none, b does not equal to none, c does not equal to none, then you should add all of them and return the result. If a does not equal to none and b, which means if you pass two data, it will store it as a and b. So I'm checking a does not equal to none and b does not equal to none. In the sense, you can add those two data. Else, if they are passing only one data, in the sense, you can return that only one data. That's what it is even mean. Okay, sure. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just trying to call it. So if I call, so you can see automatically 2 is executing. Instead of this, if I pass 2 data, it will return 5. See, instead of that, if I pass with 3 data, still it will work. See, so this one we used to call them as a method overriding. Okay, so a single method can act in the multiple way, right? Sure. And following that, what do we have? Same, you can apply this with constructor as well. I think they have did that as well also, right? Yeah, they did that this as well. So here what they are doing, just they are doing a constructor overloading, but they haven't tried with the initializer overriding. So that anyway I will show you. So here Even for the constructor also, the parent class also having a constructor and child class also having constructors, in the sense it will return the child class constructor data only. So you can see this message is coming from the child class. So but it's still inheriting the parent class, right? So here the parent class constructor has been overloaded by child class. So what we can put a title: constructor overloading. That's it, right? And finally we can see method overriding we have seen, right? So I will just copy that method overriding and I will try to turn it into constructor overriding. I don't know whether it's going to execute or not. Okay, fine. Instead of this, I will put it as a initializer. Okay, now I think we are good. So it is just a constructor. So I think I don't even have to create a object. So I will delete the object and I will directly call the class. Okay, so if I pass 3 data, it will work. Let's check. Yeah, add takes no arguments. Oh my god, possibly something went wrong. So this is cannot be possible, really. Oh my god. Okay, fine. A is equal to, then I will call a and run. Error. Fine. Something. So which means you cannot do method. Oh, sorry, constructors overriding. Oh my god. This is new thing because I never tried this one. So far you guys understood what are all the operator overloading, method overriding this thing is, or any doubts on that?
Yeah, little bit understood.
Little bit understood, really?
Yes, we have to again we have to little brush up need to.
Okay. So constructor overriding, I think it's not possible, I hope. So that is the reason it's throwing error here. Okay, fine. So even I'm calling add and with the 3 data, see it is not taking them. Already you cannot possibly declare them as a. Okay, let me try. And run it, and takes no arguments. Def of initializer self. Okay, then it is not taking any arguments. Why it's not taking any arguments? Here it is taken, right? Why there it is not taken? I don't exactly know, able to understand this thing. Here only we need to pass. I will not take any parameters, parentheses. Okay. So yeah, seems like you cannot override a constructor, but still you can overload a constructor. So that's what we are seeing here. If parent and child class having same constructor, child class results only will return. But constructor you cannot do overriding, so our constructors will not work in the different way, I hope. Okay. And we are taking no arguments. It is not taking no arguments. So usually it should take, right? Everywhere we are declaring any constructors, it should do that, right? Okay, so here also it is worked. Why there only it is not working? Am I doing anything wrong here? No, right? Sl comma a comma b comma c. It is giving, and we are not initializing. Add takes no arguments. Sorry guys. You guys should have to told me, right, that init totally spelling mistake, right? You guys are concentrating or what? Not seen this mistake or what? Kasana?
Miss Kasana is not there.
She left? Really? Okay, Manisha.
Yeah,
So
like that.
so this I previously missed it, so there is a reason it is not overridden. So now you can see, even if I pass 3 data also, it will do the work. Even if I pass 2 data also, it will do the work. Okay, so instance self dot again. So it is taking 2 datas. I didn't put them as a none, right? Sometimes, I will get jumpy. Like if I've seen the error, my mind will collapse and run all over the things. Even the result is standing in front of my eye. Also, I am not able to. I will be totally blind. You know, Sometimes, most of the times, it will happen to me. Maybe you guys are just learners. You will also face the errors. The answer will be stand in front of you only, but you cannot see them most of the time, or else out of 50% that time those things will happen. So that's what happened right now as well. So you can clearly see, even I can pass 2 data, 3 data, even only 1 data also, it will work. It should work. So for this is what we have seen. Okay, so somebody said I need to work out. I thought I can cover one another 2 more files, but you guys are seems like finding some difficulties to understanding. So what do you say, Manisha? Shall we go another 2 files or shall we stop here?
I don't have any problem.
Like you said, I need to work out those things like that, right? Yeah, sure then. Uh, Fine. What is the next one? 29. Yeah, generators and iterators. So this
Vandana
is,
with a hotel.
sorry?
So
Other
we'll
people.
stop here only, so we need to like go through the record.
Yeah, sure. That's totally up to your call. So I will share those files into your chat box. Can you tell me what are all the files that we have covered now? Because I just
Just
forgot.
we have covered inheritance and polymorphism. And next is polymorphism with inheritance.
Polymorphism, inheritance, and
Yeah, three files.
3 files only.
Yeah, first is inheritance, second is polymorphism, and third is polymorphism with inheritance.
Only 3 files. Okay.
Some 26, 27, 28. And I'm having one queries. My PyCharm is not able to save this .py file. Shall I share my window?
Inner class also today only we have seen, right? Or not?
Overriding, overloading.
Inner class I'm asking.
Yes.
So that is also that.
Actually, I'm facing one problem while saving the Python file in PyCharm.
Okay. So what about the getter setter,
Sorry?
guys? Getter setter. Getter setter also today we have seen it's
Yes,
already.
yes. Today only get and set method only.
Okay, what now? What more we have seen? 1 second. What about the 23rd? 23rd is the class, right? Okay. So you got your 5 files into your chat box. Try to open those things.
Yes, I'm having one query.
Okay.
Yes, in PyCharm, I'm not able to save Python file. Means if I'm saving but not able to run that file. Shall I share my window?
Yeah.
Are you able to see?
Am I able to see?
Mm, I have shared.
Yeah, I can see. I hope. Just turn your theme into white color so that I can see it clearly.
Yeah, now it is means my window is able to see or not?
Yeah, I can see. Is it working?
Is it okay?
I am asking you. You have to tell me.
But you people are seeing or not? Because
I can
I
see it is working, right?
okay. So if I'm trying to run this one now,
Which one?
py underscore one dot py,
Okay.
but it is not running. It is running that
Try
I'm
with
having
right click.
where
Try with right click. Click on the file inside of that. Yeah. Run now. Working, right?
okay. Directly if I'm trying, if I'm now creating new file, and if I'm trying to run, so why it is not running? If I'm creating now new Python file, so it is not taking that file directly.
Close that file. Which one file you want? The open that much file only and try to run it.
Yes, but here that py underscore one is there, no? That's
It's giving, right?
no, it is not printing hello. It is printing. It is running py underscore one. I want py underscore three file.
Then you can go with left, right click.
Yeah, that is working. But why it is not working directly? Yeah, this is working actually.
Maybe it will be stored as a default until you are going to click on change the file. That may be the reason.
Okay.
In every ideally it will happen.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
That's actually not a problem. Sure, and I'll catch you the same time tomorrow.